D.C. Mayor Muriel and House Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton won their Democratic primaries Tuesday. Neither incumbent faced much of a challenge, and since Democrats usually take the general election in the district, both should win in November. It would be Bowser's second term. Norton, 81, has held her office since 1991. Results are still coming in other key votes. Initiative 77 Democrats and Republicans voted on whether to create a flat minimum wage for all D.C. workers. Those in favor of Initiative 77 say it will protect vulnerable populations from discrimination and harassment. Those against it say the law could end up lowering wages and put restaurants out of business. D.C. has been hiking its minimum wage since 2014, and it will continue to rise to $15 by 2020. The minimum wage in D.C. is currently $12.50, but tipped employees are exempt and paid just $3.33 hourly. Under the current law, if tipped employees don't earn minimum wage with their tips, their employers are required to pay the difference. A 2017 D.C. Department of Employment Services minimum wage economic impact study found more than 27,000 employees in D.C. work for tips. More than half of those employees are not waiters or bartenders, they're hostesses, parking lot attendants and salon employees. An audit by the department found 419 cases of employers violating the law requiring employers to pay up to minimum wage. The initiative would require restaurants to annually raise the minimum wages of tipped employee wages by $1.50 until 2025, when the rate is set to match the $15 minimum wage for non-tipped employees. Advocates in favor of the initiative said employees, especially women and members of minority groups, endure sexual harassment and other inappropriate behavior from customers as they work to make tips. They also argue that the higher minimum wage won't stop people from tipping. D.C. Council Chairman Phil Mendelson was challenged by Ed Laser. Mendelson was first elected in 2012 to fill the term of Kwame Brown, then was re-elected in 2014. Laser is the longtime director of the D.C. Fiscal Policy Institute, a progressive think tank. D.C. Council at Large incumbent Anita Bonds is running for re-election for a seat she has held since 2012, when she was first elected to complete Mendelson's term when he became council chairman. This would be her second full term. The three men running against her have never held elected office: real estate professional Marcus Goodwin, environmental activist Jeremiah Lowery, and Aaron Holmes, who has had several jobs in private and public sectors. D.C. Council Ward 1 incumbent Councilwoman Brienne Nadeau is running for her second term after beating longtime Councilman Jim Graham in 2014. She faces three challengers. Shaika Reed is a local business owner and community organizer who hosted a radio show on WPFW for several years. Lori Park served as a magistrate judge in D.C. Superior Court for 11 years, and was an NC commissioner for 2 neighborhoods. Kent Bose managed libraries for the Smithsonian and a law firm, and has been an active ANC commissioner. D.C. Council Ward 5 Kenyon McDuffie has represented Ward 5 since 2012, when he won a special election to replace Harry Thomas Jr., who resigned after pleading guilty to felony charges. McDuffie is heavily favored to win, but has 4 candidates running against him: ANC Commissioner and Attorney Bradley Thomas, LaMonica Jeffrey, ANC Commissioner and Army veteran Gail Hall Carley, and Nestor Jonkim, a hospital engineer who has run for mayor twice. D.C. Council Ward 6 incumbent Councilman Charles Allen is running for his second term after previously serving as Director of Public Policy for the D.C. Primary Care Association and Chief of Staff for his Ward 6 predecessor, Tommy Wells. His challenger is Lisa Hunter, a former Peace Corps volunteer who has worked in AIDS, HIV education and held several other jobs in the federal government.